Hello friends, Peter McCarthy here and welcome to the first edition of On Tour with Go Golfing. Here we'll chat with destination experts, our local tour guides and Go Golfing travellers to share with you and the 50,000 plus Go Golfing travel community insights and what it is really like on our tours. On Tour with Go Golfing also provides interested travellers with an opportunity to ask questions and seek answers from our panellists. And if you've been on a Go Golfing tour, you'll know that we're not just professional and organised, we also like to bring the fun as well. So holidays are meant to be fun, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of laughs along the way. I know many of our viewers will have travelled on Go Golfing's hosted tournaments, our golf tours and our golf cruises over the past 30 years. We also know some of our listeners are discovering Go Golfing for the very first time. So welcome to everyone. And I just thought I'd give a little recap on the Go Golfing story so far. I founded Go Golfing some 30 years ago. Since then, more than 50,000 golfers have now trusted us with their holiday dollars. That's something we'll never take for granted. Being voted Best Golf Tour Operator at the World Golf Awards last November, well, that was a great thrill. We're proud to now host golfers and non-playing partners in 37 countries, more destinations than any other golf travel company on this planet. But what I'm most proud of is how our team thinks of you every step of the way. Your safety, your comfort, and your joy is built into everything we do. I know that beyond our award-winning itineraries, when you travel with Go Golfing, you'll feel welcome and celebrated. Simply, when you travel with Go Golfing, it feels good. We're proud of that. So this series, On Tour with Go Golfing, is an extension of who we are and what we deliver for club golfers like you. So while I said we travel to 37 countries, we kick things off with India. Now it's fair to say, when we talk about bucket list golf destination, India probably doesn't get a look in. In fact, when our chief tour designer Deepak suggested adding India to Go Golfing's golf tour calendar, I thought he was crazy. I was suspicious that his loyalty to the Indian cricket team had influenced his recommendation. Now, after reading the itinerary and taking a closer look at the courses, I'll admit I was impressed. 7 years on, India isn't just a staple on our tour calendar, it is one of our highest ranking tours in terms of guest satisfaction. So it's somewhat fitting that we've selected India for the first edition of On Tour with Go Golfing. So thanks for joining us and let me introduce you to our panel here today. We've got Kavir Khan, he's our India specialist and our Go Golfing tour host. So we've also got John McCoy, he's one of our celebrated commentators here in Australia, and he's also had the privilege of hosting a few Indian Opens. And John's booked the upcoming golf tour with his wife Carmel. And John, am I right in saying Carmel's first trip to India?
It is, Peter, yes. Look, when I came back from India the first time, and Carmel said to me, what's it like? I said, look, it's one of those things you can't really explain. You've just got to experience it yourself. In fact, I said, I think the best way to sum it up would be when you arrive at the airport, some of their big tourist advertising, they had some ceiling to floor posters that just had this big letter I, and at the top, in little letters, NCREDIBLE, and down near the bottom NDIA, and in between photographs, I said, of various places, such as the Taj Mahal. But I said, look, that probably sums it up. Incredible India. You can't describe it, you've got to see it, but it is incredible.
Thanks, John. Thanks for joining us today. And we've also got Rod and Nikki Cox. Now, they travelled on the India tour in February this year. They're from Perth in Western Australia. Rod's a golfer and Nikki's a non-golfer, although I know, Nikki, you're now taking golf lessons, so that status may change. They've done 6 golf tours, and I overheard on a recent cruise they were doing with me telling others that India was the destination that they've enjoyed the most so far. So welcome to all of our panelists, and thanks for being part of Go Golfing on Tour. Kavir, can I start with you and just give a little bit of an insight to the itinerary that our guests will enjoy on the India tour and the cities that they'll visit?
Sure. Thank you very much, Peter. So, with Deepak and the team of Go Golfing, we have put an incredible program which starts from the south of India, from a city called Bangalore, which generally is referred as the Silicon Valley of India. But the history and heritage of Bangalore is absolutely different to what one would imagine of Silicon Valley. And from there, we take a trip to a place called Mysore, which is home to the living palace of Mysore. And we also stop at a UNESCO World Heritage site, a temple called Somnathpur. And then you get to play in the two golf courses, which John and Peter will talk about. From there, we fly to Ahmedabad. Now, Ahmedabad is a very significant city, and this is a second edition. We have added Ahmedabad in this tour, and this is where Mahatma Gandhi began his struggle for freedom and independence. It is also has in the old part of Ahmedabad has an iconic jali, which is called Tree of Life, and it's a beautiful heritage walk around that. From there, we will take a flight to Agra, which really needs no introduction because it's home to Taj Mahal, which you can see at the background of Peter. And then we take a road journey to Jaipur. Now, Jaipur is also called as the Pink City. It was in 1876 when Prince of Wales visited India. The entire city in his honor was painted pink. I don't know why the color was chosen, but that's the Pink City. And from there, we would take a train journey. And for the very first time, we have incorporated train journey to the tour to Delhi. And Delhi is also known as a city with 7 layers of history because there was multiple kingdoms which has ruled India, keeping Delhi as the capital city. So that is going to be the sum of the tour.
Well, thanks very much, Kabir. He's a phenomenal tour guide, but his knowledge and his experience and what he delivers for our travellers is something that's very much appreciated by everyone who's been to India on a Go Golfing tour. Now, it is a golf tour. I mentioned at the start that India is probably not a celebrated golf destination, but let me tell you, the golf courses that you play on this India tour are quite incredible. I'll just quickly run you through the courses that we play on tour. In Bengaluru, we play Prestige Golfshire. Now, an Aussie, Declan McCallum, is the manager there, and he does a great job looking after our group. We also play Karnataka Golf Club. We then move to Ahmedabad and Kalhaar Blues Greens Golf Club. And of course, we finish with 3 rounds in Delhi with the DLF Country Club and Delhi Golf Club and Jaypee Greens. John, I might just quickly come back to you on that. You've commentated on 3 India Opens as a guest of Star and Sky Sports and DLF and Delhi. What's your memories of those courses?
Well, they are really different, Peter. The DLF Country Club, which is sort of to the southwest of Delhi Airport, is a newer course. Well, in fact, there are 2 courses there now. One designed by Arnold Palmer and one designed by Gary Player. The Gary Player course also has facilities for night golfing. It's quite spectacular, with a magnificent country club itself that has just absolutely 5-star resort facilities. But the courses, they are more of, if I could say, your modern type courses, whereas Delhi Golf Club, which is near the central business district of Delhi, is your traditional course. And there are sort of 2 courses there. The main course, the Lodi course, Peter Thomson, our great Australian golfer, he's renowned, of course, for winning 5 British Opens. But what a lot of people might not know about Peter Thomson is that he was just extraordinary in winning national opens. Apart from the 5 British Opens, he won the New Zealand Open 9 times. He won 3 Australian Opens, but he won 3 Opens in Delhi. He won 1 at Royal Calcutta, but the other 2 he won at the Delhi Golf Club. And because of his success there, they asked him would he come back and do a redesign of the course, which he did back in, I think it was about the early 70s. Since then, Gary Player has done a little bit more work on, just upgrading and redesigning. But basically, the course was what Peter Thomson designed. And Peter just had an absolute love of India. And this course is quite extraordinary. Been to a lot of golf courses around the world, but this one is exceptional because not only is it your traditional old style course, but right around the course there are tombs of some of the ancient dynasties from back in the 1400s, 1500s, and they just become part of the course. And you're asked to remember that they are tombs, so be respectful when you're there. But you can't help. For example, I know the 17th hole there, it's a par 3, but it's on an elevated tee, and the other part of the elevation is this special tomb. So you can wander inside it, but you do have to be respectful. But there's no place that I know that is simply like it. It is quite extraordinary. And no matter where you go, all of a sudden there will be another tomb, another monument that bobs up, and for a little while it takes your breath away, and you're more looking at the scenery than you are concentrating on golf. But I can assure you that it will be an experience that people won't forget. It's a magnificent club.
And thanks for that, John. You've certainly got a wealth of knowledge of the courses you've been to. And Rod, I'll bring you into the conversation. You were there in February this year. What's your memory of the courses in India?
They were all spectacular. There was a couple we didn't play Karnataka or the Kalhaar Blues, as we went through Hyderabad, but Prestige Golfshire. The thing that took me about that place when we first rocked up there was the size of the clubhouse. It is just enormous and palatial. It was just such a beautiful course. Lots of water. It was an exceptional course to play on. The courses that have been played on this trip, Delhi Golf Club, and I agree with John. I did a bit of research on that before we went over. And they had originally had a DP World Tour event up there, and they're talking about how none of the pros hit drivers and things like that because it's such a narrow and tight course. And I agree with John, the spectacular scenery, the tombs and just the walls, the whole place is just, it takes your breath away. And I would agree with anyone playing golf there not to take a driver because it gets you into a whole pile of trouble because it's a pretty tough course. Jaypee Greens was an extraordinary game on the way through to Delhi. We played there. For me, I thought DLF Country Club, I played a bit of golf in the US, and the way they presented DLF on the day we played there, it reminded me of when I played at Sawgrass, TPC Sawgrass. It was just magnificent. It's, the apartments around the place, the golf course, the greens. It was just truly a wonderful experience and one I'll never forget.
So I guess you can hear the passion with which John and Rod have talked about the golfing experience in India. And yes, while it's not a celebrated golf destination, certainly the quality of golf experience, the English heritage, the tradition of the golf courses, and the wonderful resort courses that are being added throughout India makes it a compelling golf destination. We're playing 6 rounds of golf on the India Golf Tour, and while the golfers are at play, the non-golfing partners are also well looked after. So, Nikki, as a non-golfer and the experiences that you had while Rod was off golfing, do you want to speak a little bit about, the things you did and experienced in India?
Yeah, look, it was great. We were definitely well looked after. Every day when the golfers were off playing, we would have our own guide and driver it was great because you got to understand the culture of the country as well, because these people were local people that Javier had sourced, and they were just wonderful. We went to, the probably standout things were going to the Gandhi Memorial, which was just so moving. It's a museum there. It was where he was assassinated, and just understanding how important he was to this country. It was just amazing. And then we would go to palaces and temples, and that was another thing that I was amazed with, just how this country lives with different religions side by side, with their temples and next to each other, and they're living harmoniously. Was just unbelievable. I never understood that before. And then we'd go to the flower markets or the spice markets, and just experiencing the culture, but feeling really safe and everything really organised, and feeling like we were really looked after was exceptional.
Thanks for that, Nikki. I guess one of the things we pride ourselves on for all of our destinations is thinking about the non-golfing partners. While they might be smaller in number, it's certainly something that we pride ourselves on, in making sure that while the golfers are at play, that the non-golfing partners are certainly looked after as well. And I guess as part of what Go Golfing offers and our philosophy when it comes to hosting golf tours is that we look to build in the iconic sites, the festivals, the food and wine experiences, and the cultural immersion that's part and symptomatic of every Go Golfing tour. So Kavir, if I could bring you back in just quickly to talk about some of the wonderful experiences that our travellers can look forward to outside of the golf while touring India.
So in every city, Peter, we have designed various experiences for people who are part of the tour, and keeping one simple philosophy in mind, that they have to be immersive experiences, taking them to the iconic places such as Taj Mahal at the sunrise. If my memory serves it right, we were the first people to get into Taj Mahal, and the entire place was kind of like empty for us. We saw the sun rising from the side, east side, and it was just beautiful with hardly any people moving around there. As Nikki mentioned, going to the flower markets, going to local bazaars to walk around. In fact, such as doing a rickshaw ride in Jama Masjid area in Old Delhi, and enjoying a tuk-tuk ride, which was not part of the main itinerary, because with Go Golfing, I always take the liberty of taking guests' permission that can we do something which is beyond what is written, and if they are game for it, then we do some interesting things. Like in Hyderabad, all of us decided to go for a biryani dinner, and on the way back, instead of taking the coach, we decided to take a tuk-tuk ride, which was absolutely fun. It was safe, but at the same time, everyone enjoyed getting that immersive experience, which they would not get otherwise if they're traveling with some other travel company. So in every city, we handpick experiences. Of course, the iconic places like Taj Mahal, Amber Fort in Jaipur, Jama Masjid in Delhi, but at the same time, we built in experiences which are immersive, which gives a better understanding of the culture and the city, because every single city is different from the other one. Every state is different in terms of culture, in terms of language, in terms of dialect. And there's a very famous saying in India that the language, dialect, and the food changes every 100 miles. And you'll see a dramatic change in the way we would dress up, the way we would eat, the way we will express ourselves.
Rod and Nikki, is there a couple of experiences on your tour that sort of stand out as far as the cultural experiences?
There's loads. And as Carl was just saying, it just seemed every place we went, it was like different in terms of the people. And Nikki was talking about the religions and the food. And it was, John made mention earlier in the piece that, how do you describe a tour to India to someone? It's like a photo. It never does it justice. You need to be there to experience it. And everything from the time we're in Bengaluru out to Mysore, all the way through, and the tuk-tuk ride, that was just incredible. It's something we probably never would have done had we not been on the on the tour.
Yeah, and we went Bollywood dancing where we all learned to dance, and then the Festival of Holi was on during that time, and Kavya got his team to organise for all of us to do the Festival of Holi, and it was just, I mean, my kids look at the photos and are like, oh my gosh, and the videos. And everyone on the tour got into it. We were all just having such a great time doing our little Bollywood dancing, and just so many amazing things that we did. I mean, Taj Mahal, I would have to say,
that's
getting there first thing in the morning. Rod always says it was a very emotional moment seeing that. You can see the photos, but when you are there and it takes your breath away, and it's just incredible. But lots of things we did. On the last night before we left, we had a beautiful dinner, and we had saris and outfits for the men delivered to our rooms, and we had someone come and get us all dressed up. We all went out to dinner traditionally dressed, and that was just unbelievable. Everyone just looked fantastic, and everyone just had such a great time. So too many experiences.
Too many, and they're all fabulous, and all fabulous in different ways.
John, you've been to India a few times, but mostly for work. Have you had a bit of time to experience some of India's culture and some of the amazing experiences?
Well, we on one of the tournaments I was there for, we took a couple of extra days, Peter, so that we went down from Delhi to down to Agra to the Taj Mahal, and I mean, just that travel in itself is an experience. But as people can appreciate, Agra is only small and it's crowded, and the Taj Mahal being one of the wonders of the world, you can imagine the number of people that go there. So, and it is, as soon as you get there, it just takes your breath away. You can say, well, I can understand immediately, without even going inside, why it is one of the wonders of the world. But I'm really looking forward to going there and going on that tour at sunrise. I can imagine just how spectacular that would be. It's extraordinary. So that for me will be one of the highlights. And it was interesting hearing Rod and Nikki talking about Bollywood dancing. I remember one of the Indian Opens. It was won by the Indian player Jyoti Randhawa, and his wife was one of Bollywood's biggest stars. And on the Sunday, when he was about to win the tournament, she arrived. Well, it was absolute pandemonium. It sort of took away from Jyoti being the winner. When she arrived, there was just absolute complete uproar. So, Bollywood stars, they are just such symbols in India. And that was, it was one of the highlights of the day, not just the golf, but seeing the reaction of the people when she arrived to greet her husband.
John, did it take you much convincing to get Carmel on board to coming to India with you?
Oh, look, I'd say at first she said, oh, I don't know that I, really want to go to India. I said, look, you've just got to experience it. Some of the other places we've been around the world, I said, they're great experiences, but nothing is like India. It is just unique, and you've got to go and see it. And as soon as I said that, then she was hooked. And probably since I've been to India, she's taken up golf, Peter, so that's another reason as well.
Fantastic. Another highlight of the tour, Kavir, is the accommodation and the places that we stay. Do you want to just talk a little bit about some of the accommodation choices that we have on the tour?
Yeah, sure. So all these accommodations are, one thing is common, they all are 5-star hotels. And with all modern amenities in there. But we have handpicked the hotels. For instance, the Taj Westin in Bangalore. Now you're in the metropolitan city, as I said, referred as Silicon Valley of India. And that is where you stay in this old charming hotel, which is modern, which is equipped with all modern amenities. It's green everywhere. you feel like you're staying in a resort, not in a hotel. And from there, Jaipur, we have picked up a different hotel this time. We have picked up a palace, which is going to convert it into a hotel, which is a 300-year-old palace, now functioning as a small luxury hotel. In Delhi, it will be Claridge's Hotel, which is again a boutique, charming heritage hotel right in the city center. You can literally walk to the Museum Gandhi. It's only 100 meters from there. Uh, Only in Ahmedabad and Agra, we have a newer hotel. Like in Ahmedabad, we are staying in Hyatt. And the reason to stay is that because the city doesn't have any heritage hotel. There's only one, and that's too far off from the golf course. So we have tried to be in the middle of golf and the touring. And in Agra, it is the same hotel, ITC Mughal, which though is a newer hotel, uh, but its layout is more of a, which gives you a feeling of resort, excellent spa, great dining experiences. And all these hotels have one thing in common, that they give you more than two dining experiences. So you can decide if you're staying for 2 or 3 days to try various restaurants.
Yeah, I think one of the comments that we consistently hear in the feedback is the quality and the palatialness of the accommodations, big rooms, magnificent culinary experiences, enormous breakfast buffets with everything you could hope to have, and great locations, which makes it easy to conveniently explore from your hotel. And I think that they're important, and they're part of the characteristics that we look for on Go Golfing tours, that we're in locations where people feel safe and comfortable to go and explore and to do those things. So we're not wanting to take too long, but we did have a couple of viewer questions that have come in while we've been online. Di from Hobart has asked, how hot is it in India? I might just quickly say, Di, I've seen cricket test matches where the mercury touched 40 degrees. Kavir, do you want to talk about what the weather is that the people are likely to encounter in February when the Go Golfing tour is on?
So Feb and March are one of the best times to travel in India. The mornings are and evenings are cooler. The days, depending on which city you are, can get a little warm. For instance, Jaipur tends to get a little warmer during the afternoon, so therefore we tee off at 8 in the morning rather than in Bangalore where we would tee off at 10 or 9:30. So as we progress towards March, noons tend to get a little warmer, but days are pleasantly cooler. You can wear your t-shirt, move around. It's absolutely stunning weather. Anything sits around between 21 to 26 degrees with cool breeze coming along, especially when you're at the golf courses. So it makes it very pleasant. So not at all, 40 is not the weather any of these golfers or the non-golfers will experience during this tour.
Rod and Nikki, what was your experience? Did you find the weather comfortable?
Very comfortable. We actually love the hot weather, but I think, as Carver said, some of the days in the afternoons got a little bit warm out on the golf course, but you keep yourself hydrated, it's fine. But the whole time we were there, it was beautiful weather. The evenings are superb. You wake up in the mornings and it's just beautiful. It's warm weather. You have your breakfast and off you go. And we thoroughly enjoyed the weather, Peter.
And especially coming off we're from WA, so coming off the WA summer, it was not an issue for us at all. We found the weather beautiful.
Okay. Trevor and Kate from Townsville are asking, how safe is India? John, the trips that you've done to India, have you felt safe?
Absolutely, Peter. Yes, I have felt safe. And I always found that the people were so friendly and they were so responsive to you, and not a problem in that regard whatsoever. Yeah, no, it was a wonderful experience, and people really wanted to help you and make you feel at home. And it was one of the nice things about touring India.
Yeah. And Kavir, I know when we're putting the tours together, and one of the things that we're always mindful of is the safety and the comfort of the travellers, and you've got that embedded into everything that we do through India.
Oh yes, absolutely. And for us, safety comes down to planning, and I take that personally when we are traveling on the golf course. So drivers are vetted, guides are vetted. In every city where we are selecting accommodation, security is the main concern. When we pick, you must have noticed at every hotel. When you enter, there's a small amount of screening of the baggage and of the people getting in. And all these, we never try and take our guests to places which are rough, which anywhere in the world you will have part of the city which
Mm.
is rough. We are very careful to ensure that guests are not going there. And plus, the good thing about these golf tours are that they're small in nature. There are not many people there. So to manage that also is very convenient, and ensuring that we are navigating and through these, even through these small alleys, is the rickshaw rides also are vetted, are handpicked.
Yeah.
So security is absolutely, you can be rest assured that for once you will not feel that you're not safe.
We've probably got time for just a couple more questions. We've all heard of Delhi Belly. Judy from Perth is asking, what is the likelihood of getting sick while you're on tour in India? I might just start by saying it doesn't matter where we are in the world, practicing good hygiene, washing your hands thoroughly and taking care of things is going to reduce the incidence of getting sick on tour. One thing I can say is if you do get sick, you'll be glad you're traveling with Go Golfing, because what we arrange and how we look after you and make sure that that you're well attended to and looked after is unlike anything that travelers would typically experience. But Kavir, I think I can probably draw on you to talk about the restaurants that we visit and the places that we go. Hygiene is of paramount importance and something that is well looked after.
Sure. So all the restaurants which we have picked during, and even if the guest experience on their own, are five-star, hand-picked, one of the finest restaurants, not only in that hotel but in that town. And at the same time, what I always tell guests, when you come to India, it's not the hygiene which makes you at times sick. It's just the overdose of good food, which you kind of like tend to overeat. And at the same time, you're not used to this kind of spice at back home. And in Indian food, we generally put a lot of spices, a lot of flavors, and that sometime maybe may not sit very well with the guest. And in past, of all the tours I've led for Go Golfing, there's only one incident where we had experience of one of the guests had an experience, but we ensure that we bring in the doctor at the hotel. They were well looked after. He rested, and the next day he was absolutely fine.
Yeah, no, it's great. Lastly, caddies are included at the golf courses that we play in India. And Siobhan from Brisbane, she's asked. She said she's played golf in Thailand and Vietnam, and she wants to know what's the caddies like in India. So, Rod, you've probably had the most recent experience of the caddies. Yeah. What was that like?
All the caddies we had in India were all males, whereas when we played in Thailand and places like that in Bali, they tend to be females. But the caddies were great. I suppose any caddy, Peter, it's you get good ones and you get bad ones, and they're there to do a job and point out things that don't hit it over there because of the big creek or a lake or whatever. So what do? You hit it over there anyway, but that doesn't matter. No, I found them all very good, and they were all very polite, and they were all there to make sure that we had fun, and that I think is the main thing.
John, have you had the time or the privilege of playing golf in India on the trips that you've done?
No, I haven't, Peter. When I was there, I saw a lot of golf, but didn't get to play any myself. So I'm really looking forward to it. But it is just an extraordinary country. I remember one day, I think it was might have been the day that we'd been to the Taj Mahal in Agra. When we got back to Delhi that evening, I remember one of the cameramen that was working on the telecast, Australian fellow from Coffs Harbour. When we got off, he said, I have to say, it's been a long day, but he said, I don't think there's 1 minute of the day where I haven't turned to the person next to me and said, did you see that? And that probably sums up India.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I thank all Kabir, our host in India, Rod and Nikki, who did the tour in February this year, and John and his wife Carmel, who are embarking on the India tour in February. We've still got some space available if anyone wants to join the tour. But thank you all for sharing your insights and your experiences on the first edition of Go Golfing on Tour. Our next edition will be South Africa, which is a destination that we've taken more than 1,500 golfers to on hosted golf tours over the year. Now, one thing I do know, life is better when you have a holiday to look forward to. So I encourage you, take a look at gogolfing.com.au, touring to 37 countries, golf tournaments, golf tours, golf cruises, everything under the sun for golfers. We love what we do. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.